Welcome to the Third Degree Masonic Podcast, where we are always on the level. We're your hosts. I'm Brother Samuel.
I'm Brother Ryan.
And we have another special guest with us. Brother Ricky is returning to assist us with our topic today.
Oh no, I'm back.
Oh, he's back.
How? Like a part-time host at this
He's
point.
part-time.
Yeah.
Contingent.
Just like Gabe.
Per diem, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just here for the benefits.
Just for the, you can have...
You're getting benefits? What the hell, Sam?
I like him more than you.
Wow. All right, then.
But anyways, Craftsman, as you know, we are currently on our series featuring how to be a traveling man and what is a traveling man. And I thought, you know what? Let's share some stories ourselves about traveling. Probably our biggest Masonic trip. It wasn't intentionally Masonic, but it became a Masonic trip. Our trip to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And yeah, it did not start off as like intentionally Masonic, but like in the early stages of talking about going and what we wanted to do, it kind of quickly turned into being Masonic based in some way.
Because, Ryan, I don't know if you've ever been to Gettysburg.
Once, long time ago, I think it was for fourth grade
far.
or so. Yeah. Which... Oh, God, that was 20 years ago, I want to say.
20?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Give or take a few years.
So none of it, you're like a little kid. No.
Yeah, no, I maybe was 10 years old. So, yeah.
So Gettysburg came about on our radar. I don't even remember why. We were just talking about, we're like, oh, we're in our early 20s. I think it was
Dustin.
Dustin was like, I want to go to Gettysburg again. And we're like, okay, why? And he's like, oh, it's really cool, and I can show you guys all this. Fun fact, Dustin did not know where anything was or where anything...
Wow.
He just was like, I don't
like my brother-in-law.
I was like, I was like, hey, where are we going? He goes, I don't know, wherever you want. So we,
Dustin.
while we were there, somebody had mentioned, oh, you're going to Gettysburg. You need to go check out the Friend to Friend Memorial. And I was like, what's that? So do you know what the Friend to Friend Memorial is? So Gettysburg, as you probably know, is just a humongous battlefield.
Yep.
And it's just covered in monuments.
Yep.
Just every 6 feet is something. A plaque, a statue, a plaque and a statue, a rock. And, you're supposed to have they do like these guided tour type things where they'll tell you everything. We had nothing. We just raw dogged this trip.
That's rock.
It was 100 degrees outside.
What is wrong with you?
And we walked.
When was this exactly? Like, was this like last year?
No.
Or
I was in my early 20s. I think I was 2017 maybe.
Okay, so the dinosaurs were still walking around.
Gotcha. I was out of X-ray school, so it was 2017, 17, 18. We were just taking guys' trips. We would just get a group of us to go, and we'd just go. Mm-hmm. We drove all the way there.
And I can't remember when I joined this friend group. I want to say 18, 19.
That
19. I think you started hanging out with Sam probably 4 or 5 minutes.
So this was before my time then. I'm interested.
Not that before, just a little before.
Yeah.
To just hear these stories just like the listeners.
Let's put it this way. I wasn't exactly going to lodge meetings that much. I was in kind of my outs with Masonry and was a little frustrated, but nothing against the fraternity, just what was going on at the time.
Yeah.
So while we were there, I was like, oh, that's really cool. Well, there's this gigantic monument that's out there. It's one of the bigger ones, and it's got its own, like a lot of these platform, or a lot of these monuments are not on any kind of a platform. They're just there, dropped into the dirt, a rock, a statue, in the grass. The Friend to Friend Memorial is a Masonic memorial to all the Masonic brothers of both the Union and the Confederacy. And it goes from a story of one of them helping another one, even though they were on opposite sides of the war. There's a story about that even though they were Masonic brothers, they were able to overcome their differences in that and give each other their final dues. Which is cool. It was dedicated by the Grand Lodge of Pennsylvania in 1993, I believe. But it's very cool. It shows 2 soldiers comforting each other while one is like holding the hand, and I'm not gonna say whether there's any Masonic shenanigans going on in the grips, but like he's consoling each other, and on it is a giant square and compass on the bottom of the base, friend to friend. It's really cool. I've got some pictures. I'll share it on our social medias.
Yeah.
But it is dedicatedly a Masonic memorial, and not only that, it's built on concrete. So
Okay.
they poured concrete out and made a base for this thing. It's one of the very few of them that have its own base.
Mm-hmm.
And it's closer more to this like civilization. It wasn't in the middle of nowhere. You know, like we have found how many of them that were just like in the woods or
Oh, yeah.
in the field somewhere. This is closer to like a road. Like you can't miss it driving through the battlefield. So that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Got some pictures from that. That's kind of another, oh, everybody's got to go see the Friend to Friend Memorial if you're in Gettysburg kind of thing. So Gabe wants to go back.
I would be down to go back.
It was a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
because he wasn't there with us when we went.
Nope, he wasn't really hanging out with us at the time. He was still living in Tiffin or wherever. Who knows with him?
Hey, maybe next year we can all plan a trip.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, it's really not that far. I mean, it's from us. It's what, 6 hours?
Yeah, I don't think the drive there even took a full 6 hours.
The hardest part was the turnpike.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have to pay once you get off the Ohio Turnpike, and then you
yeah.
have to pay to get on the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
Yes.
And they're just like, put the money in my hand. And you're like, oh, I really can't do it. I think it costs us almost $100 for 2 cars to go, like, and then you got to pay when you get off the Turnpike in Pennsylvania, too.
Yes. Yeah.
It was like $6 or $7 just to make the transition, and that was in 2018. So
Yeah, it's probably
$12, $13 now.
It's probably way more than that now. And Ricky was being a dick. He goes, you know what? Reaches into the center console of his car and handed the lady a bag of coins.
I had enough. I had way too many quarters, okay? And I asked
Okay, at least they're
her if it
quarters.
was going to be a big thing or not.
I'm sure she went home and was like, that motherfucker. Come back through my gate. Come back through my gate.
All right, listen, you worked in retail
Yeah.
with monetary transactions. How often do you need quarters, though? Like, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
I was helping.
So
You were
we-
13.
I
soul.
do both.
So after that, we ended up going to we actually went to a Masonic lodge in Gettysburg too.
Mhm.
Mm.
We organized it to go visit, I think it's Good Samaritan Lodge
Mhm.
in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Like, it's beautiful. It's in the center of town. It was, a bunch of roundabouts. Really cool.
The area looks really neat because it's almost like a small town, kind of like us around here. We have Levis Commons and we have Fallen Timber shopping centers where there's this area of older style architecture, and it's a lot of outdoor walking. And
Mhm.
like where we parked, it was like maybe like a 3 or 4 minute walk, so it wasn't far, but like we got to see like all this little kind of not shopping area, but just like all these little houses and all these little businesses all kind of stacked together, and the lodge was just kind of tucked in there.
Yeah. And so when this all started, because we were like, well, while we're there, Dustin, I think, was the one that said, we should see if we can go to a Masonic meeting. Well, if there's one going on while we're there.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. Do whatever you want. And he goes, yeah, hey, they're having a meeting. It was on like the Thursday or the Wednesday that we were there. And we were like, okay, well, I guess we'll go. So we left the one guy that wasn't a Mason at the hotel. We're just like, hey, that poor who is now a Mason, by the way. He's now a Master Mason, but at the time he was not. Everybody else was.
Vince and Cy. Both of them.
Oh, you're right. It was 2 of them earlier that week. They got in a fist fight.
Well, you can only go on a vacation with 6 of your male friends, every so often without there being some sort of
So some
altercation.
kind of a blowout.
And it turns out when somebody says, "Hey, stop it," after the 3rd or 4th time, you should probably just stop it.
Well, it didn't help that they were in a car together for 6 hours before that too. So it was, but we dropped these guys off. We go, drop. We have no idea what to expect. They're like, yeah, come on out for our meeting. Blah blah blah. Bring your dues card.
All right, so you at least like informed them before you just showed up on their door. And
Yeah,
knocked
we
on the door. I was like,
emailed.
hey guys, can you let us in?
Yeah, no, we emailed them,
Okay.
and so we get there. They're like, oh, we don't know you guys. Who are you? And we're like, oh, we're the guys from Ohio. We said we were going to visit. And they're like, cool, get yourself some spaghetti. So they fed us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're sitting there and we're just like staring at each other like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and it was so different than in Ohio. Like, you show up for a Masonic meeting here and there was like, I don't know, let's say 15, 20 guys. I think there was probably 50 or 60 guys at that meeting. At least it
Jesus.
felt like that. I mean, it was just packed full of people.
Mm-hmm.
But the weird thing is nobody talked to us for a hot minute. Like, the couple of guys came over and like tested the waters and were like, oh, who are you guys? So then all of a sudden I get done eating and we're sitting there talking because the meeting was like 45 minutes away. And this guy comes over and goes, hey, tugs on my shirt and goes, hey, I need you to come with me real quick.
Just
And
you?
Just
or
me. Just
You were gone for like 20 minutes.
I was gone for like 20 minutes.
Jesus.
So I don't know what happened while I was gone, but while I was gone, why don't you say what happened while I was gone, and I'll tell them what I was
I
doing.
want to say it was their senior deacon and their junior. No, maybe it was their senior and junior steward. Just like sat and chilled with us and talked and stuff. And we had a whole conversation about like how important it is for them to do meals before every meeting and every event. Because here at Genoa Lodge, we were kind of in the process of talking about like, do we even want to like keep doing meals before meetings? Because like that costs money, and if we have people who aren't showing up for that kind of a meal, we're wasting that money. Like, what's the purpose? What's the point there? And they were talking about how important it was to them, and it was a really big deal because that was part of like their culture, their lodge culture. And before they do anything Masonic, like the first thing they want to do is they want to break bread together as brothers. Before they do any sort of presentations or any sort of events, they always have a meal together. And that was cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm glad to
Let's listen
hear.
that.
I'm glad to hear that your experience was positive.
Yeah, my experience was great.
Because meanwhile, while he's getting talked to and fluffed up about how good their meals are, they took me up to the like preparation room, and I had this little old man who had to been in his 80s, and the Tyler, and this old man grilled me for 20 minutes, just like asking me everything you can imagine, anything and everything to prove I was a Mason.
After a while, we thought you weren't coming back.
Yeah. At what point did you guys?
Sacrifice to the lodge. I guess that's what you do when you travel.
Yeah. At what point did you guys all go? Fuck, are they just picking us off one by one? Like, who's next that they're gonna sacrifice?
It was.
Or did you guys just sit there and be like, well,
I
see ya,
thought
see
they
ya.
were brainwashing him into being part of their officer line for the rest of their life at that point.
Well, so this old man, I mean, he just looked so angry. Like,
He was probably pissed. Like,
I mean,
they
he was,
just told him that
like-
you were coming, and like,
he was
"What if I
he was like,
let me do this?"
he's like, first off, he goes, I need your dues card. And I was like, okay. And I reached in my wallet, and you know what I forgot?
Your dues card.
My dues card. Do you know what I did have, though?
Your ID.
My dues card for Memorial Lodge number 2 or whatever from Lucas County. My Lucas County Memorial Lodge that I paid $1 for to be a member.
Mhm.
It's a symbolic lodge.
Jesus.
He opens up this big book, just starts going through it and goes, yep, it's in here. I'm like, okay, that's good.
Step 1 done.
Step 1.
100
He
to
goes,
go.
okay, clunk. And then he goes, whence came you? And I'm like, and I just spout off the first thing comes. He goes, give me your obligation as an entered apprentice. And I'm like,
Jesus, I haven't done that in 11+ years.
Like, to be honest, if someone grilled me right now on the Tylers, whatever,
obligation,
yeah.
whatever, yeah.
or any of the obligations, I'd be like, here's my dues card. I'm not masturbating anymore.
I had no idea. I didn't even know that was a thing at the time. I mean, you got to remember, I'd only been a Mason for like 2 years.
I didn't know about it until Charlie said it last year when we were like, hey, we're going to go to Indiana. And we never did. And he's like, well, make sure you know this. And I'm like, where the fuck is that?
That's why the past masters are so grumpy all the time.
All the
because
time.
they travel and they all have to learn the Tylers oath.
Yeah.
And then we just don't.
Yeah,
It's
like,
like,
we're just
how
like,
are they getting away with this?
what words are you saying? What sorcery?
So he's like, but you got to remember, their jurisdiction and our jurisdiction, they don't word things the same way.
Yes.
So the way I worded things, he was like, well, where were you first made a Mason? And I'm just like, which one do you want? EA, fellow craft, master mason? Which where do you want? Like, and after a while, he goes, looks at his buddy, goes, welcome to Lodge, brother, and shakes my hand, and I'm just like he was the nicest guy on the planet, but he was just putting on this scary Gestapo.
You know, right before you came up, they're like, okay, Jim,
fuck with this guy.
The Ohio guy. Be an ass.
He's been waiting his entire life for that moment, guaranteed.
Well,
and Jim's like, yes,
it's my turn.
Give me the big book. I want the big book.
Well, and you got to think about it, though, too. Gettysburg is a hub for historians. It's a hub for... How many people do you think just show up to Masonic Lodge and expect that they're going to get in? I mean, there's got to be a couple of them.
Me raising my hand because when I went to Philadelphia, I was like, oh, I'm 5 minutes away from the Grand Lodge of Pennsylvania. Let me just walk there. Walked in, and the Tyler was sitting at the top of the stairs. He's like, can I help you? I was like, evening, brother. Just thought I'd kind of tour around. And he's like, we currently are in session, so I can't let you. And I was like, I'm a brother from Ohio. Can I attend? And he goes, no. And I was like,
okay.
All right, well, thanks for maybe another time. He's like, if you come by tomorrow, I'll let you walk through and I'll talk to you about stuff. And I was like, I'm leaving tomorrow morning, so I can't. And he's like, have a good night. And I was like, cool, bye.
I was in Cincinnati a couple of years ago with a friend, and they had some questions about like lodge and stuff, and we were walking down by some of the local breweries and literally wandered by their lodge in Cincinnati, or just outside of Cincinnati, one of the suburbs, and it's like a really cool looking lodge building. It looks like an old courthouse. I literally just was like, okay, well, let's see if anybody's there right now. Walked over, checked the door was open, walked in, ended up talking to the secretary who was there for a little bit, and he was super cool, super chill, let us do a little tour. Said hi, said bye, very nice, very polite. It was super cool, super chill. So like it's kind of interesting that we have this whole like secret society mystique, but then like you could literally just walk in and chat with us.
Yeah,
well,
and it's not knock, unlock it, or just.
Well, and you got to think about it. Like I said, Philadelphia is probably the same way. They probably just have people do that kind of crap all the time, and
it's one of the bigger ones, and it's like
so. And also, like I said, different jurisdictions are very different about different things.
I do want to circle back to, I think you are right. I think this is why the old people are really angry at us, because they know the procedure, and they're like, you need to contact the secretary, secretary contact the grand secretary, go through that line. We're just like, nah.
Meanwhile,
there's the door. I'm going to go open that.
Meanwhile, I'm over here sending emails to the Grand Lodge of Maryland asking if I could get Shaq's info so I could have him on our podcast. Charlie's like, there's a million reasons why that is wrong. But I was like, well, I didn't know any of them. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh,
but
Lord.
I digress. So we were at this meeting.
Yeah, let's go back to Gettysburg.
So
and you
he takes me back downstairs. He sits down, and Ricky's like, I didn't think you were coming back. I didn't know if he was going to let me come back. If I didn't know that, I was just in the closet. He was asking me questions for like the last half hour.
So when you come back, they don't take anyone else. They're just like, well, nope, he's a Mason,
just me.
So everyone else can.
They asked me, they said, do you vouch for the other two that were downstairs? I said, absolutely, wholeheartedly.
Okay. I think Dustin had his dues card out, like was like in the process of handing it over.
And they're
to him.
like, we don't.
He was getting up, and he's like, all right, you can sit down. Just,
we don't need.
Dustin's like, I wouldn't be grown for 20 minutes.
Well, it's probably good because Dustin wouldn't have known what to do.
Knowing my brother-in-law, I love you if you're listening to this, but you probably will pee your pants.
So anyway, after that though, guys started coming over. It's like they walked around like, nah, they're good. So then everybody started coming over and talking to us and like, conversing. They gave us a guy, I think his name was Jimmy. Jimmy sat with us on the sidelines and just explained to us what's going on. So for you guys out there that have never visited another jurisdiction, every jurisdiction is different. Every jurisdiction is unique. We are same, but different.
Yeah.
So while you might understand some of what's going on, you're not going to understand everything. Jimmy's job was to sit there and go, this is what we're doing. This is what's... And like we'd get this confused look. So I'll give you an example, one that's probably not going to get anybody in any trouble. At a certain point, the senior warden during the ritual forgot his line. Okay? What do we do here in Ohio?
We just kind of shout it out.
Some past master is going to yell from the sideline and say,
Yeah. And we're like, shut up.
Give him a minute.
Come on. It's been 10 seconds.
So, not in Pennsylvania, though. All of a sudden, it's just quiet for a solid 15 seconds. And then all of a sudden, the worshipful master goes, Brother Senior Deacon, approach the east. And he comes up and walks over, and the master whispers in his ear something. The senior deacon walks it to the senior warden, who whispers it in his ear. Then he walks all the way back, and the senior warden repeated his line with the same enthusiasm of, oh, I'm getting dragged across the carpet for that one later. But that was, and it only happened one time. But the guy was like, hey, he missed a line. So what he's doing is he telling him the line and bringing it. I said, do you guys not have ritual books? He said, no, it's all word of mouth.
Holy shoot.
Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but it, like, you know, what do I know?
That's a level of the craft that, like, as you said, every jurisdiction is different. Every time that you go to another lodge, the culture is going to be a little different.
We do them here now with the pillars at the senior warden and junior warden station that denote whether we're refreshment or labor.
Mm-hmm.
They did that. We didn't know what that was. Like, that was weird. And there's are these big ornamental, they're cool. I was just like, what is this?
Yeah, and they had like a whole other extra officer's position inside the lodge that was like every lodge, they have a first care. They had a first care, and then they had a second care, which is almost the same as the first, but inside.
Yeah.
And he had all the same implements of that office, like sword, ready to go. It was all decorative on the side of the belt. Like, it was a whole neat thing. And he also was involved with like the introducing of people. So it was kind of like a combined duty. And the guy was explaining to us like what the position was, because we were confused. We were like,
what is that?
What?
We don't have that. We don't have that in Ohio.
Did we go to the right building? Like,
Right.
Is this a clandestine?
Why can't we all have swords in a meeting? What?
Well, and then what's also crazy is their master doesn't sit
Really?
for the whole meeting. He stands for the whole thing.
That's interesting.
And when we were introduced as guests. We were treated with the same respect and given the same honors as their district dignitaries that were there that night. And we presented them with a plaque that we made. Well, Ricky and Sam Neefer, who made it and brought it with it, we presented them this plaque of Ohio. It's Ohio with a square and compass in the middle of it that they made. It's really cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just so, I mean, we brought them a gift.
Yeah.
You know?
From a different state.
Yeah, from a different state. We're like, hey, thanks for having us at your just meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to bully one of us. We got them a present they can put in a little locker somewhere, like a little case to show
Jimmy,
off.
remember that kid that
kid
you made?
scared the hell out of?
That's his plaque.
So I'll get back to that. But after it was really weird to be honored that way because, we were just people here. But they were like, hey, our distant brethren, thank you so much for being here. It means so much that it was kind of like, it was just like, cool. I'm not worthy. So we got done with all of that. We left. We came back. It was a good time, but fun.
Well, don't skip the presentation they did.
Oh yeah. Why don't you talk about the presentation? The Black Swamp one.
Yeah. So obviously, like Gettysburg is all about history. It's all about specifically a bunch of stuff involving the Civil War, and we were told usually the Masons that were there at Gettysburg Lodge don't do too many presentations or educational opportunities talking specifically about the Civil War because it's such a cliche. It's been done so many times. And like, you can only look something in the face so many times day in, day out before you get kind of tired of it and kind of bored of it.
Yeah.
But one of the presentations that they do every once in a while is about the Black Swamp Indians. And it was pretty cool. I'm going to say it was pretty cool, but I mean, I've got some Native American heritage way back down the family line. So every once in a while, it's like kind of neat to hear about that because it's like, oh, okay. So somewhere down the line in family history, a great uncle whose second cousin was partially removed and got kicked out because they married somebody who wasn't from their tribe or something or other. Like, it's just neat. So learning more about Native American culture is always kind of like a little niche element that I'm interested in. And it was pretty neat just learning more about the Black Swamp Indians and how they interacted throughout the Civil War itself, and like how big that tribe was in Gettysburg at the time.
And they had some big festival that they do every year, like the Blackfoot ritual or something like that. I can't quite remember. They were like, you should come back, and I'm like, my guy, I wish. This was like a once in a yearly trip. Like, can't be visiting that. But overall, I mean, that was what was really cool though, is there was a guy, I was on TikTok, and he's one of our listeners. He goes, hey, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I'm from Gettysburg. Heard you talk about going to Gettysburg on one of your episodes, because we talked about it on the Ring episode. And we got into that. He goes, yeah, I'm from that lodge. I said, do you still have the plaque with Ohio on it? We gifted you when we came there, and he sent me a picture of it. It's in the cabinet in their stuff. I'm like, that's so cool. And I sent him the picture of us presenting it to the worshipful master at the time, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But what was really cool for me, that was awesome, right? So far, super Masonic, fun time. Minus the part where we all got heat stroke and Dustin got dysentery from drinking the water by the monument.
What?
Your brother-in-law locked himself in the bathroom next to the monument for like an hour. And then when he got out, a family of 5 went to go use the bathroom, and then they just chose not to use the bathroom afterwards. He got dysentery. Like, if we were on the Oregon Trail, your brother-in-law wouldn't have made it back. But we were all young and dumb. We also agreed to go walk the entire battlefield the next day after the Masonic meeting.
800-degree heat.
And then decided that, oh yeah, we'll do a haunted tour afterwards. And fun fact, spending enough time with these guys, we fight.
No.
So
It's not our favorite pastime or
A
anything.
bunch of strong young men with strong, independent personalities.
yeah.
Just
Do you guys
being on the
decide
same
to wear
page, 24/7.
clothing too, just to be like, you know what? Let's go back to the old days.
Ricky did. Ricky wore a dress vest and shorts. Like,
I thought I looked okay. All right, I wanted to look kind of fancy. I don't know why.
you looked good, but it wasn't practical for hiking.
No, it wasn't.
It gets worse.
Or the jogging that came afterwards.
Or the jogging that came afterwards. But we get back. We're just at this brewery, and Ricky and Cy are just going at it for like an hour. So me and Vince and Dustin all came up with an idea that every time Ricky and Cy fought, we would find the nearest bar, go inside, and do shots. Needless to say, by the time we got to the haunted ghost tour, I don't remember it. Apparently we were the most fun in the ghost tour. Don't remember any of it.
It was fun, but good Lord, I have never been that chafed in my entire life.
Oh yeah, it was awful.
Sweet Jesus.
It was awful. Because Dustin didn't tell us how big the battlefield was. He was like, yeah, we can walk it. We should not have walked it. We should have drove it.
So, kind of circling back a little bit and kind of trying to refocus. I love hearing these stories about times before because I'm like, oh, cool. It wasn't just when I joined the chaos and stuff. So, obviously, Sam, as you know, we're talking about the traveling man.
Right.
What makes you a traveling man? What does it mean to be a traveling man?
Right.
So you guys obviously went to Gettysburg. You guys went to the lodge and stuff. You enjoyed their lodge probably as much as you enjoy lodge nowadays. Back then, not as much because, like you said, you weren't going to regular meetings. Is there something that you want to let the listeners know, or you want to just say, like, why it was such a great trip or why they should do it? Because it took me until I joined the Royal Schofield Society to start actually going outside of my lodge. And don't get me wrong, I love going outside different local lodges, but to go states, I'm like, I love Masonry, but I don't know if I love it that much. If I'm in town, sure.
Right.
But I'm not going to go, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to go 2 states away to this one lodge and then come all the way back.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan. I would love to answer your question.
Yeah.
After this quick break and a word from our sponsors.
Alrighty then. Can't wait.
Bink.
If you're in the market for even more awesome Masonic content, check out this clip from the traveling man himself, Brother Jim Hall.
Are you a seeker of the light, history, and the deeper meaning behind Freemasonry? Then tune in to the Traveling Man Masonic Podcast, where brothers come together to share their journeys, traditions, and insights from lodges across the world. Whether you're a seasoned Mason or simply curious about the craft, this podcast brings real stories, candid conversations, and Masonic wisdom straight to your ears. Find the Traveling Man Masonic Podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. Travel well, brothers.
Welcome back, craftsmen, to the Third Degree Masonic Podcast, where we are always on the level. We're back with myself, Brother Samuel, Brother Ryan, and our guest today, Brother Ricky, talking about our awesome trip that we had that turned into a Masonic trip to Gettysburg.
Yeah.
What is that? Oh, that was different.
That was very weird.
Weird.
I don't know if you want to restart this or just continue.
No, it's all
Okay.
good. I'll just work off.
Sorry, listeners, if you didn't hear it, we were getting feedback real bad.
That was weird. Never seen that. We're working with some new equipment, so sorry, guys. Anyway, going back to what you said,
Yeah.
getting to it, I just have one more story I want to tell you that kind of makes this whole trip to Gettysburg kind of come full circle.
Yep.
So while we were there too, Gettysburg is more than just a battlefield, right?
Yeah.
There's like a whole town.
Yep.
And it's everything from psychic scam stuff that they'll $50 for them to read your palm to model trains and I mean everything you can think of.
It's a tourist trap.
It is, but in the best way. It was a lot of fun. But we found this jewelry store. We were like, oh, what the hell? Let's go in. And we're looking around and, it looks like a really high-end boutique jewelry store. And I'm looking in this cabinet and I go, that's a Masonic ring. And I've never seen one like it before. It's a cigar band, very crude, hard to explain. I mean, I'll share pictures of that one too, but it's almost like it's casted in silver. And it's like the square and compass is not perfect. It's very rough looking. Like, it's hard to explain.
Okay.
And it has an hourglass on one side and the Eye of Providence on the other.
Okay.
And I'm just like, weird. I kind of want one. And the girl behind the counter goes, can I show you something? I said, yeah, let me take a look at that. And she goes, okay, hands it to me. And I put it on my finger. I was like, it's a perfect fit. And Dustin goes, yeah, let me try that one there. That's my size. Puts it on, perfect fit. And I was like, it's like $100.
Okay.
Like, okay, I'll take it. She goes, well, I would love to sell it to you. She goes, but you got to go talk to that guy over there. And their security.
It's just mine.
It's this like 6'2" guy, polo shirt, gun on his hip, like their security guard. And I walked over and I said, okay. And I said, hey, she said, I got to talk to you if I want to buy that Masonic ring in the case. He goes, yeah. Puts his hand out. Go through all 3 grips. He smiles at me and goes, he's good. I said, he's good too. She goes, okay. She goes, the owner's really particular about selling these.
Yeah.
This is casted from her great-great-great-grandfather's Masonic ring.
That's dope.
They took it, had it made into a mold, and they make them, but she said she will only sell it to people that are Masons, and luckily her security guard is a Mason, so he can verify people that can buy them, but she will not sell them to anybody who's not a Mason.
That's cool.
I thought that was pretty sweet. So I still have that one. I wear it all the time. Dustin still wears his all the time. It's all beat to crap because he wears it at work because it's silver. It's just stainless silver. Sterling silver. But full circle it comes around to answer your question. I think, go ahead and repeat it one more time.
Oh, Jesus. It was kind of loaded, so I'm going to try and cut it down.
Okay.
So this topic is, what does it mean to be a traveling man?
That's our overall topic.
Yes. So going to Pennsylvania, going to the lodge, Gettysburg, and whatnot, what do you want to tell the listeners on why it was such a great trip and why they should go, not just outside of their lodge,
but districts,
state, with authorization. Do not just show up at a door and knock on it.
Right.
No, do it. Just show up.
Yeah.
This is why you're only a part-time host, Rick.
So what I really got out of that trip was going with my Masonic brothers mostly, and the other two eventually did become Masons too. We were all DeMolay brothers before that. You never knew what kind of shenanigans we were going to get into. We were in and out. Like, God, that whole trip was just a trip. The whole time was so much fun. And while that itself is not Masonic, they're memories I'm going to carry forever. But going to the friend-to-friend memorial was humbling in a way. Like, to think about that in the sense of how big the fraternity was, I don't think it really had sunk into me quite yet.
Especially after going to the cemetery.
Yes.
Like, it was after the cemetery, because
Yes.
the cemetery is a whole other ballgame
thing.
too. Like, that's also humbling.
You can't even go into it. You can only look at it.
Oh,
because
jeez.
They won't let people walk. There's
Wow.
there's no one there that you're related to. Like, you might be related to, but you got to get special authorization, and
Yeah.
you can't just walk it.
You can't just be like, oh, my name's blah, blah. And they'll be like, yep, there's a grave over there.
Yeah,
Here you go.
you have to. It's a lot of work, but yeah, it was just very humbling to think about this Civil War and our history, and how brothers on both sides, differing opinions, differing beliefs, different political opinions, Masonry keeps us united.
Mhm.
I mean, how many arguments have you watched me and Ricky have about our differing opinions on how the world should be? Doesn't change the fact I love him. I got his back.
I mean, just at the fundraiser that we were all at,
Me and Gabe.
not even just you and Gabe, Ricky and Gabe, for, I would have to damn near say an hour, and we all like kept saying like,
Linda.
we were all like, guys, can we table this for later? And you guys were all like,
Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
5 seconds later, Gabe says something, and then you're like, okay, Gabe, let me show you the rules.
No. Him and Sam were already going at it.
Yeah.
And I was
Yes.
like, all right, this is a soft warning, boys. Like, we're out in public. We're supposed to be doing something different here.
With our lodge name behind us and all of our Masonic polos.
We're all wearing our polos with the Genoa Square
Yep.
compass on
Yep,
it. We
I
have
know.
2 banners that are presented, easily viewable for everybody. We're supposed to be giving our time to charity.
Yeah.
And then a second warning was given, and a third soft warning was given. And then I was like, okay, I'm just getting involved now, because this is what I like
Just
to do.
gonna hurt everybody's feelings. But I mean, it doesn't change the fact I still love Gabe.
Yeah.
That is bad.
Yeah.
So Masonry travels throughout. It keeps going, and I think that humbled me a lot. Visiting another jurisdiction's lodge, and it's like being a fish out of water for a hot minute. I think had I been a little bit more confident about it, it wouldn't have been so bad. But the fact that none of us had done it, and we had done it on a whim, we didn't know the pond we were swimming in. Had we had somebody like Mark or Charlie that travels often, and we could have just kind of learned the ropes from, might have went a little smoother. But I think getting chewed out by that old man was probably the funniest thing. Like, even to this day, it just still cracks me up. I just love it. But they took their security very seriously, and that's always ingrained on me too.
Yeah.
When we're here to keep our security, guard the West Gate.
I mean, I do find that a little funny, just for the fact of we had a brother come from Maryland.
Yep.
And I remember Ricky, you let us know about it. Yeah, I tried getting in contact with our Grand Secretary, and their went nowhere. So I texted Mark and Charlie, and I was like, what do I do? In 2 weeks, we have this brother that's out of state. I can't verify him. You guys can't verify him. And their first question was, does he have a dues card? I go, yeah. And they go, that should be good. We can test him when he gets here. I was like, okay, cool. And he came in, and I was like, do you have your dues card? Like, he still is a really cool guy.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I looked at it, and I was like, yeah, this is valid. And Mark was like, okay, you want to test him? And I was like, why don't you do that?
Yeah.
And so he said a few words. The brother said a few words back, and Mark's like, yep, that's all we need. And I was like,
and
damn.
And on top of it, I think when you're a Mason, I think you can identify another Mason.
Yes.
It's
within certain, like, you can tell, like, is he just a good man, or is he a Mason? Is he choosing his words very
after about 30 minutes of talking with Matt about Masonry,
yeah,
I knew he was a Mason.
Oh, yeah.
You can't, like...
And he's been to multiple of our functions.
Yep.
He's always like, hey, how can I help out? Not a member of our lodge.
Yet.
Yes.
soon to be.
Yes, but like he's like, oh, you guys are doing this fundraiser on Saturday? Yeah, I'll show up.
Yeah,
Showed up, stayed pretty much the whole time, helped us take down stuff, and we're like, Jesus Christ.
but think about it though, how we felt visiting one time, one visit, one night, 2 or 3 hours of our time gone.
Yeah.
Think about for Matt, he's coming out. I mean, he lives in the area now, so
he's not making that flight every single.
But he's coming up. He's introducing himself to guys he's never met.
Yep.
He's going out of his way to help us with our fundraisers and just hanging out and doing stuff with us and getting to know us before he joins our lodge. That's got to be immensely harder. Like, I give him a lot of credit for that, and he fits in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's really interesting because we have like a younger generation of Masons coming up here in Genoa Lodge trying to help out with more things, do more events, learn more ritual. And here we have this guy who's like 20 years older than us, which, shout out Matt, you're a great guy and all, but you were playing like one of the original versions of Dungeons and Dragons when you were younger. We're on 5th edition over here.
He is a D&D player, so we're not.
He's a really cool guy. He's a really cool guy. But he came out and he's doing all these different things with us, this younger generation of Masons. Yeah. And he's so, like, when he presented his dude card and, like, you and Mark tested him, like, to me, he seems so much more well presented as a Mason. He seems like such a traveled Mason. And when talking about, like, what it means to be a traveling Mason, I mean, like, I think Matt's a really good example. Because Matt made his way to Genoa Lodge by seeing me wearing my Genoa Lodge polo when I was at the Shrine Circus. And he just walked right up because his wife noticed me and saw the square and compass. I was like, Matt,
it's you. It's one of your people.
That's a local Mason. That's,
It is a little, if I can cut you off real fast, and then it is a little reassuring to, how does Charlie put it? Being out in the woods and seeing a friendly symbol and knowing you have a friend right there.
Yeah.
Being in the dark and just being like, I know no one here. And then you just see that square and compass and you go, I know him.
Yep. It's good enough for me.
Yeah. So anyways, continue. I'm sorry to kind of cut you off.
You're good. Just like he came up and talked to me, we chatted for a little bit and I was like, yeah, man, like, sure, let's, here, these are the dates that we meet. Why don't you come out? This is our meeting. Here's my number. Can I get your number? And what lodge did you come from? What brought you to the area? What are you doing in the area since you've been here? How long have you been here? And when did you try getting in contact with the lodge? And he was just kind of not really like putting it off necessarily, but, he just wasn't looking up or actively pursuing anything and then just kind of like stumbled into it. And I think that's one of the like cool parts about being a traveling Mason is being a Mason, you can go pretty much anywhere, throw a rock and probably find something Masonic, whether it's a monument, another Mason, a lodge, or even an event that's going on. It's not very hard to do.
Yeah.
And it's funny too, because the more you travel, the more you kind of learn to identify things.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, my work, there's a cabinet at my work where they keep all kinds of artifacts and stuff from when they built the hospital. And I happened to take a look at it, which this is going to piss off some people, but it is fine. I don't care because I don't think anybody knows it. There's a trowel inside of that case from when the Masons laid the cornerstone for the Catholic hospital. For those of you that don't know, the Catholics don't look so fondly upon Freemasonry.
Yes,
sometimes.
the Catholics and Masons have been feuding.
Varying well, it's a one-sided feud. But it is just funny to watch because there's a Masonic. It doesn't have a square and compass on it, but I was like, why is there a trowel in there? But I was asked security to open it up, and I picked it up and looked at it. And it says, here lies the cornerstone placed by, I think it was East Toledo Lodge. I can't think of what the name of Gorsuch's, the one that used to be on the south end of Toledo.
Oh.
Used to be Paragon's old stomping ground. Maybe it was Paragon. I don't know. But it was like, I was just like, huh, that's really funny. Sat it back down and walked away. I was like, hey, thank you. But like, I wouldn't have thought of that had I not, traveled the block a couple times. But
I will say, like, kind of circling around and stuff, it is because me and my wife went on a trip and we went to one of her favorite places. I can't remember the actual town name now, but in the series we were watching, it was called Mystic Falls. and I can't think of the name of it, but we were sitting out on the park, or we were walking by and stuff, and I looked up at a building, and probably a foot by a foot, there was a square on compass on this giant building. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, there's no fucking way. And she's like, what? I go, that's a Masonic lodge right there. And she goes, what? And I look it up, and I'm like, did they ever show it in like the square? And it's in the series for a split second, like as they're like panning, you see. I'm like, I will never freaking guess.
Yep.
And then going to the Secretaries Association down by Columbus, we were driving, and I got a hotel and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, it's at some Shriners stuff. And we're driving, and again, my wife goes, why do I know where we're at? Like,
Yeah.
there's going to be a place up here, like a McDonald's or something. And sure enough, we come up to like a Wendy's, and she's like, where are we at? And I tell her, and she looks to the right, and she goes, that's where I took my exam to become a cosmetologist. And it's right like next to the Shrine place. I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Like, this is just a small world.
Well, and Masonry is bigger than your lodge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Masonry
Yes.
is bigger than Genoa Lodge. It's bigger than Northwest Ohio. It's bigger than, I mean, we've enjoyed that by getting to know a lot of these guys on the other shows, right?
Yeah.
Matt and Andrew, or the guys from 357. Masonry is, well, what we are doing here is unique. Once again, just like in, I'm trying to think of the name of the show with North Korea and,
Do you know
Ryan are looking at each other like, what? What the hell is he talking
the one that they tried to cancel with James Franco in it.
Do you know what he's talking about?
James Franco goes to
not the interview.
the interview.
That one.
He goes,
Oh.
"Yeah, same, but different." That's
Oh.
Masonry. We are same, but different. And what holds us together is that Masonic obligation. While the words are different, the intent is the same, could be different. The intent is the same. And while we might not always agree with each other's politics, because, you know, there are some jurisdictions that we are not able to visit because of reasons that somebody else has determined we're not going. But that's okay, because they're still our brothers. We're just not, we're feuding right now, like the Hatfields and McCoys.
Mm-hmm. Like me and Cy.
Yeah, right. Get over it. But if something bad happened, I guarantee you we'd still be helping them out.
Yeah.
Masonry is just get out of your lodge room. Go and visit. Start easy. Start simple. Just go visit another lodge in your area. Get to know those guys. You can build yourself up for it. You don't got to take a deep dive off the high plunge like we did. We were just like, what are the odds there's a meeting while we're there? Like, what are the odds? And there were. And I was like, well, I guess we're going to a Masonic meeting now. So, overall, craftsmen, don't be afraid to go travel. It's adding to the rest of this series. It's only going to make you better. And the memories that I think Ricky and I made while we were there, they're going to be with us forever. They're some of the most fun we've ever had, I think.
I agree.
It's probably one of my favorite trips. It's one of the last big trips we were able to take before we all kind of got sick and tired of traveling together.
And I think one of the really important parts about being a traveling Mason is like you go out in the world and, like, Worshipful Brother Charlie Murphy says, finding a familiar symbol and finding a place of comfort. Imagine being lost in the woods. The world's a big place. Sometimes it's scary, sometimes it's wild, sometimes there's all sorts of great things, and sometimes there's all sorts of not so great things. But when you find something else Masonic, it's a source of comfort. Being lost in the woods, you feel not so lost anymore. So traveling to me is all about finding that comfort somewhere else, finding that little piece of home, whether it's my home lodge, my home brothers, my home culture. It's just finding that little piece of comfort somewhere else.
We'd like to thank you, craftsmen, for joining us today on the Third Degree Masonic podcast and listening to us have a little bit of a not locked in episode about Gettysburg, but
And going down memory lane.
going down memory. I mean, that's the fun part is for me, it's going back and thinking about, I didn't even tell you about how they all got ticks and I had to take them off of them. Like, these are memories that I just, like, at the time, I wanted to kill every single one of them for bringing ticks into my hotel room. But
Lodge is all about history.
for Ricky and I just quarantined them in their room and we locked ourselves in our own room. But, these are the things that we joke about now to this day, like laughing about. They bring smiles to our face. So thank you, Craftsman, for letting us rant a little bit, going on this fun memory lane jog with us. If you could, we would really appreciate it. Check out our merchandise. Anything purchased goes to the Grand Officers Fund of Genoa Lodge to help the next Grand Officer from our district.
Yep.
Ryan's currently wearing our new T-shirt, and I think it looks pretty dope. He got it in red, and I love it, and I can't wait to buy my own
Like,
stuff.
a picture doesn't do it justice until you see it, and I fucking love this shirt.
He's so talented,
Like-
man. But anyways, Craftsman, thank you so much for joining us. And as always,
And remember, Craftsman,
keep your working tools in order.
And always be on the level.
Thank you.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast do not reflect those of the Grand Lodge of Ohio, its officers, or any of its jurisdictions. They only reflect those of the hosts or guests.